All right. Welcome to On The Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. Today we're here with Big O.
Guns up.
Coach Evan Hearn. And special guest, head coach and athletic director of the Bryson Cowboys, Mr. Kevin Ray. Thank you, Coach, for coming on. We appreciate you making the trip. You said it was about 60 miles south of here, so I could probably say I've never really actually been to Bryson, unfortunately. But this year may give me an opportunity to get out there. So
I hope so.
Yeah. So we appreciate you coming. We don't have the means or the ability to get out to every sideline this year. So we appreciate you coming in on the sideline and chatting with us about your program. As you know, we but we kind of started this mini series about the 940 football preview. Mm-hmm. And we picked Bryson up this year. You know, we expanded from 20 teams to about 37, 38-ish teams. And we're happy to pick up Bryson and learn a little bit about six-man football. We don't get to talk, and a lot of our viewers probably don't even know much about six-man football. So I think you're either the third or fourth six-man football coach on the show. So we're excited to hear from you and to hear about the Bryson Cowboys. As you know, you get newspaper articles, you get social media posts, you get magazines that they think they know what Bryson Cowboys are going to do this year in the football year. Mm-hmm. And we, especially Coach Hearn here, came up with the idea of bringing the head coaches on here because we think that the head coach is really the only one who knows what to expect from the Bryson Cowboys. So, again, appreciate you coming on and making the trip. And we'll let Coach Hearn start with the questions.
I appreciate you guys inviting me, too.
Yes, sir.
Coach Ray, like he said, thank you for coming to On The Sideline. So, as we get started, give us an introduction about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Kansas and graduated from OU. I know there's a whole lot of Sooner fans down here.
He's a Texas fan, so don't mind him, Coach.
Me too.
Oh, both of those losers are, but go ahead.
40 years ago is when I started my journey in six-man. Wow. So, I was up in Kansas visiting some friends, and it was literally the weekend before two-a-days started. And my dad called me at my friend's house, and he said, hey, this guy from Blum, Texas called you, and he needs a coach. And so you need to give him a call. So I gave the guy a call, and this was on Saturday. Two-a-days was starting Monday. And he said, yeah, we need a coach down here in Blum, Texas. And we play six-man football. And I had never heard of six-man football. I was like, okay, well, I need a job. You need a coach. So, I jumped in my car, sight unseen, just trusting it.
On a whim.
Yeah. And I got down there on Tuesday, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Small town Texas. What is this going to be all about? Six-man football. Do they wear pads? Is it flag football?
Hey, these are real questions.
That's what I'm thinking about driving down to Blum, Texas, which was about a 4-hour drive. So I had a lot of thinking, and I got down there and I walked in the building and I said, I found a secretary, and she said, I said, hey, I'm looking for the head football coach. And she said, what's your name? I said, Kevin Ray. And she said, you're it.
You're the head football coach.
I thought they just needed a coach.
Yeah.
They needed the coach.
Oh,
So then I went on to find out that I was not only the head football coach, but I was the head boys coach. Which meant football, basketball, baseball, track, golf, tennis, high school, junior high. I was the boys coach. We had 2 coaches on staff, so I was the boys coach that year.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, man. You've had an adventure.
And so tell us,
Yeah.
so what's your transition from Blum, you said Blum, Texas,
Yes.
to now in Bryson? How'd you get there? And
So from Blum, I was just there 1 year, and then I went to Milford was there for 9 years. That's over in East Texas. Another six-man school. About 3 or 4 years in at Milford, I just decided. At one point, I thought I was going to, just kind of stair step up and go into 2A, 3A, 4A, and get into 11-man football. But after 3 or 4 years at Milford, I just decided that, hey, I'm in love with this game. This is going to be my niche. I'm going to stay in it. And I spent my whole career in six-man. So through some moves and so forth, I got to I went to Milford, then I got out for a year just to see if I'd missed the game, and I did. And so I got back in. I went to Trinidad and won a state championship there in '98.
Nice.
And
This guy.
and then I moved out to West Texas. I was like, okay, let me see what West Texas is all about, because they brag about their football a lot.
A little different out there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
So went out to Grand Falls Royalty, which is another six-man school, of course. And from there, I went to Aspermont, then back to Trinidad for my second stint there. Then I went to Rankin, and then O'Donnell, and then I retired from Texas in 2018. We moved back up to Oklahoma, and I taught and coached up there at a 6A school. So I swore I was going to write a book, and I haven't done it yet, but 6-man to 6A.
Ooh,
And
6 to 6.
That was a
That'd be interesting.
little bit of a transition there. And it'd been a long time since I'd played in high school. So, the 11-man game changed a whole lot since I was in high school. But that was a great experience. I coached defensive line for 5 years, and then I just decided that, I'm missing the small community. All 3 of my kids graduated from Trinidad from small school, small community, and so we just wanted to get back into six-man. We're raising a granddaughter. We wanted to get her back into a small school setting, and so Bryson came open, and one of my daughters lives in Jacksboro, and so we thought, hey, this is a great place to be if I can land this job. So I went after it, and fortunately I got it, and here we are.
So you're the head coach, AD. How long have you been? How many years have you been head coach now?
39 years, because I was out for a year. So this would have been year 40, but it'll be year 39 for me.
And how many of those have you been the head coach at Bryson?
This will be my second year at Bryson.
Second. Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
Yep.
So, you talked about it, and I've asked this question to our six-man coaches just to give our listeners and viewers some insight. What about the six-man game is what you fell in love to, where you, as you said, you found your niche and not wanting to go coach 11-man at the time?
I just thought that six-man is just such a special game. It's fast. It's almost like fast break basketball on a field. I mean, you're just up and down the field, and it's fun. Everybody's eligible. You can fake a dive and throw it to your center, and all kinds of fun stuff. And with kids, that's what really sold me, is the small community more than anything else, because in a small town, you've still got those kids that are just salt of the earth, and families, and just great kids.
So, Coach, coming from Bryson, of course, not a lot of kids. What's the population of the school like? I guess K through high school. About how many kids?
We've got about 300, I think, somewhere around there, a little under 300.
So about at the high school level, how many would you say?
We turned in 68 kids, 9 through 12.
Yeah, so that's kind of on the bigger side for. Are you guys for a 6-man, or is that on the smaller side?
Yeah, six-man is split into Division I and II, and so we're a Division I school.
Okay,
Yep.
6-man Division I. So how many seniors did you guys graduate last year?
We graduated 5 off of our football team. Overall, the school, are you talking about the school?
The football team.
Oh, okay. Football team, we had 5 seniors last year.
Okay, so, I mean, since you brought it up, how many did for the school? I would love. That's just curiosity.
Not many more than that.
Oh man,
I think it was 19 in that class.
man. So 5 of the 19 were on a varsity team.
Yeah,
So
that's 25%.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So, so you graduated 5 seniors. So how many kids do you have coming back for this offensively and defensively?
We've got. I kind of counted it up this year, or a little while ago. I have got 3 kids coming back on offense, and those same 3 on defense. But we do have some kids that have played a lot too. So, there were some that were kind of alternating starters, and some that were, got quite a bit of playing time. So, saying that we've got 3 coming back, with the experience that those kids got last year, I could say that we've probably got 5 kids that I can confidently say that they're going to be ready to go this year.
Okay, Coach. Since we talked about, let's talk a little bit in depth about those 5 that you're talking about by name, and then let's talk about a few more of some kids that you guys are looking forward to being possibly some standout players. Just want to create a little exposure for those kids out there, Bryson.
So our seniors, we've got Gavin Sadler. He's probably going to play quarterback for us, but he could play any other position. He's just a scrappy, get down, get dirty type of kid, and he's a ranch kid, and he's a hard worker. Great kid. He'll play safety for us or corner. Haven't decided that yet. We got Nate Jackson, which he was kind of an alternating starter offensively at running back last year, and he'll play on the defensive side too. We've got a kid that we are trying to get wavered, 4th-year waiver with the UIL, so we're hoping that he becomes eligible too. He had some rough patches in his early going in his freshman and sophomore year that got him behind in school, some special situations, but those are my 2 main seniors, and then I've got a couple of juniors. I've got a big kid that normally big kids are really built for 11-man, and this is a big 300-pounder, 300-plus pounder.
6-man, 300 pounds.
Yeah,
Boy.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen it before. I didn't go see him.
But he's very skilled.
He athletic, huh?
He's got great hands. He's not real super fast, but he's got great hands. He's smart. He knows the game. He can plug holes up on defense when we play against tight offenses. And
what's that kid's name, Coach?
His name is Ben Bennett.
Oh, that's
Ben Bennett.
Ben Bennett.
All football team.
He sounds like a star
All name
name.
football team.
There you go.
And then we've got a kid coming out that'll be a junior this year that didn't come out last year, and he's very athletic. Just watching him during the summer and watching him in some of the other sports, coaching him in track. I'm excited to have him out for football this year. We went to a couple of 11-man calls it 7-on-7. We call it 6-on-6. We play 6-on-6 tournaments, and so he went to a 6-on-6 tournament, and I mean he's going up and taking the ball, up high. So excited about his athleticism and what he's going to bring to the table for us.
What's his name, Coach?
His name is Wyatt Newton.
Wyatt Newton.
Yes.
How big is Wyatt Newton?
Wyatt is about 5'9", 150 pounds maybe. He's
That's
not
good.
real big,
That's
but he's
good for 6-man.
Oh
sure,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I'll take speed and small. I'll take speed and big, but
Yeah.
if I had my
Shifty,
choice
yeah.
between big and slow or small and fast, I would take the small
Oh,
and
yeah.
fast all day long in 6-man.
At Orthopedics Express, our primary focus is delivering exceptional care to patients with orthopedic injuries, such as sprains, strains, broken bones, and joint pain. You'll receive the expert care you need when you need it most. Simply walk in or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Located inside the Center for Advanced Orthopedics, Orthopedics Express is your fast track to orthopedic care.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, Coach. So you've been in the game for a long time. I'm eating up. This is a lot of knowledge sitting at the table. 40 over 40 years of coaching is just unheard of. That's a testament of how much building character in young men means to you. So kudos to you on that. So speaking of that, Coach, what's your philosophy in the six-man world? Are you a kind of do-it-all coach, or do you kind of just focus on the offense or the defensive side of things?
Well, I've done it all different ways, but right now I've got a great staff. I've got myself and 2 assistants, and one of the assistants I coached with at O'Donnell and brought him over, and he's my defensive coordinator. And we hired a rookie last year. Can't call him rookie anymore because he's going into his second year, but sophomore year. But he's going to be a great coach. He's going to be, and he already is a great coach, but he's going to be a great coach in the future. So I can really focus more on offense. I call the offense, and so I've got Justin Ramirez coaching the defense, and he is so good that I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on studying the other team's offense. He does a great job of doing that. And then I put the rookie that's not a rookie anymore. I put him on the special teams, and he does a great job there too. I mean, he studies the other team's special teams, and that's a big part of the game. I heard Jimmy Johnson say it one time. He said there's 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And he said you got to win 2 out of the 3 to win a ball game. And so that I heard that a long time ago, but it always stuck with me that special teams was something that I always just kind of, saved for Thursday. And now we do it every day because, it's 1/3 of the game when you think about it. So
so for those who don't know, and special teams is a little bit more important in six-man football because of the fact that your extra point versus your 2-point extra point, I guess is what they call it, right? So explain.
If you kick an extra point, you get 2 points. If you run or pass it in, you get 1.
And that's both from like the 3.5 yard line?
Yeah, it's from the 3-yard line.
Okay.
Yep.
And so I guess in your own words or maybe from your special teams coach, how difficult is it to make the 2-point? Because we hear from some of the other coaches about, we scored a lot of touchdowns, but we couldn't get any of our 2-point conversions. So, I guess give the listeners and us an insight on what you would consider the difficulty level of making one of those 2-point conversions.
Yeah, it's the snap, hold, and kick has got to be just bam, bam, bam. It's got to be automatic. And if you have any kind of a stall in that, you're probably not going to get it. It's going to get blocked. Another thing about it is that in small towns, it's not like you have a bunch of soccer players coming out to be a specialty kicker for you. You've got just small town kids that get out and play football, and sometimes it's really hard, challenging to find a kicker, a kid that can actually just kick the ball. So, that's part of it. And, every once in a while you get a kid that played soccer as a kid, and, he comes up and, man, he can boot it through, but not very often.
So I would think that, and this is probably common knowledge, but my expectation is that your kicker doesn't get like a normal, an 11-man, they get a 2 or 3 step kick. These guys probably get a 1-step kick, right?
Yeah, I let them take 3 steps, but they start stepping just as soon as the ball snaps.
Okay, yeah.
So
it's a
they're
different
just
time.
Yeah, so they're gonna be at the ball when it's placed. So it's a little bit different. It's got to happen quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got to have a very skilled holder. You've got to have a guy that can just snap it hard back there too. But if you get snap, hold, kick down, just bam, 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 you can hit most of them. If you have a good kicker that can put it through the uprights.
Yeah. So I guess, and this may be a dumb question, but does six-man have field goals, like normal field goals?
We do. They're worth 4 points.
Okay. So
instead of 3.
I was
But
today years old when I learned that.
Who's kicking field goals though?
Yeah, I know. Like that. I
That's-
guess that's the. I mean, I guess it's an option, but probably not very much.
it doesn't happen very often.
Okay.
You know, you do see those teams that have a good kicker, and the teams that have a really good kicker, they'll try them every once in a while. But even then, I mean, it's fourth down on the other team's 25-yard line or 20-yard line where you might be in field goal range, and six-man coaches just don't even think about field goals. They think about scoring touchdowns.
So I just thought about this with the skill level that it takes to be a snapper, a holder, and even a kicker. Maybe the colleges need to be looking at six-man football for these positions.
Absolutely.
When you think about it, just like that's a skill set that in itself, because you got to think of the time frame that to get that ball down. You pretty much as you're catching it, you're snapping and it's being kicked. So that means you got to be smart enough to get your hand out the way, or your finger's gonna be going through the goalpost too.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about from the colleges. Colleges out there, man. Maybe you can find some of your holders and your snappers and kickers at the six-man level. That's just something to think about.
I have actually seen a couple of snappers, a couple of six-man kids go to college and snap. I know one that played at, where did he play at? I forgot, but he went to Baylor and was a deep snapper for him for 4 years.
So, Coach, let's get into football. Tell us about you guys' record last year in your first season at Bryson.
Okay, so we were 7-4. You know, we went 7-3 during the regular season. Should have been 8-2. We lost our first game of the season. We lost by 1 point, and we were up 18-0 going into the last play of the half, and the other team scored a long touchdown, gained that momentum, and we had to battle to keep that momentum from, try to get that momentum back, and it just gave them enough momentum to where they came back, evened it up, and then we ended up just losing by 1 point, and that was probably one of those extra points. So after, when we were 3-2, I told my coaches we should be 4-1 right now. When we were 4-2, I said we should be 5-1 right now. So I played that game all the way through the season, but we had a great year. Bryson has been there's been a lot of turnover before I got there. No fault of anything, but just bad situations, unfortunate situations, but they have had turnover. We had, like the kids that were seniors last year, they had 4 different coaches in high school. So, to be 7-4 was a big win for us. We got into the playoffs and kind of got wiped out pretty quick, but I thought it was a great start for us to just get into the playoffs and get going that way.
Who'd you meet in the first round?
Union Hill. And yeah, they're way kind of northeast Texas, and they're a little bit better than us. Last year they were.
You always have that.
Yep.
So let's fast forward to this season. Could you talk to us about your non-district schedule?
Non-district is going to be very challenging. We start out, we're actually playing in the Jayton Classic.
Oh, yeah.
Which is out in West Texas. Jayton has beautiful facilities, and they start playing games on Thursday. They play games Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Mm-hmm. We play Saturday at 3, so I'm praying it's not about 115 degrees with artificial turf making it 125. But it's a great opportunity. We play Ira. Ira is perennially a powerhouse. They're really good every year. They won state in baseball this year, so they're always good. That coach that's coaching there, he's been there forever and good friend of mine. But we hooked up and decided to play in Jayton. Then we've got Throckmorton. Throckmorton's always good. We've got a very challenging schedule. We've got Woodson coming up. And Strawn, we play Strawn this year. Strawn's always good. And, just seeing them in track this last year, I could see that they've got some athletes. So it'll be a challenging preseason for us for sure.
The realtor we trust is Kim Roark, given to others with love. Kim was raised in this community and has been selflessly serving for over 20 years. Kim encourages everyone to thrive in their purpose. Kim is part of the Homes for Heroes program, where she gives back a portion of her commissions from each closing to all military, firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare, and educators who use her services. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kim is the realtor for you. Go check out the website at homesforheroes.com. Since starting from scratch in 2020 by longtime resident of Clay County, Bob Belcher, Duck Creek Disposal has quickly become one of the most trusted waste disposal service and dumpster rental companies serving the 940 community and the surrounding areas. Local to the core, they take immense pride in being a part of the Wichita Falls community. Duck Creek Disposal's deep roots mean that every customer is treated like a neighbor. Their promise is to guarantee the best customer experience in the area, and they live by it. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or business, they've tailored their services to suit varied requirements. Bob's hands-on approach and belief in personal connection means that when you call Duck Creek Disposal, you're experiencing a standard of service that Bob himself envisioned. You talk to real people, not a machine. Go give Bob a call at 940-257-5660. Serving the 940 community for 12 years, Allegiance Electric and Controls is the trusted go-to for commercial and industrial electrical solutions. Contact them for reliable, tailored services to keep your operations running smoothly. Please call or visit their website at aecllc.com. For all your paving and concrete needs, we trust Freeman Paving, LLC. Located in Vernon, Texas, Freeman Paving is our recommended business for concrete, paving, and dirt work. They have over 20 years of experience working right here in our community. Next time you need any concrete work, give them a call, 940-552-9496. If you're looking to treat yourself to a delicious dessert, then Yogurt Journey is the place to be. Yogurt Journey offers 12 delicious flavors of frozen yogurt with over 60 topping options. If you want something warm instead, stop by to enjoy an amazing funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried brownies, or fried candy. Yogurt Journey also offers frozen yogurt rolls, waffle frozen yogurt rolls, and smoothies. If you need a cake for your next celebration, Yojo provides custom frozen yogurt cakes. Yogurt Journey is located on Kemp Street across from Barwise Middle School and is open daily from 12 to 9 p.m. For all your roofing related needs, we choose Assured Roofing and Construction. At Assured Roofing and Construction, their hard work is based off honesty, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that every customer gets what they deserve and is happy and stress-free throughout the entire process. When any storm damage occurs to your roof, gutters, fencing, or siding, Assured will have you covered and help you from the initial free inspection to filing your claim, meeting with adjusters, and getting your damaged property fixed properly. Give AJ a call at 940-782-1194.
So, and that seems to be the staple of all the head coaches is challenge yourself in the preseason. That way it builds you up for your district schedule. So as we know, the district changes every 2 years by the UIL of Texas. So did you guys district change at all? If so, tell us about it. And if not, just tell us about your district schedule.
We only have one team that we were in district with last year. And thank God we're out of Gordon's district. So Mike Reed, if you're listening right now, sorry about that.
So y'all were in a two-team district last year?
No. There's only one other team that is still in our district. Okay. So we've got Perrin Witt. They're in our district this year, but we added Newcastle. They moved from Division II to Division I. So being as close as they are to us, they just naturally came into our district. We've got Knox City and Northside, Vernon Northside. So it's a pretty challenging district, I think, especially Knox City. Knox City's been really good, and Newcastle's been really good. Newcastle, they took Benjamin to the edge last year with Grayson Rigdon playing for them, and they probably played Benjamin better than anybody else did.
Yeah.
And in Division I, is it still just two teams make playoffs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And so we had Coach Archer on here from Newcastle, and we've had a couple of Coach Healer from Goldberg. Anybody else I'm leaving out? I feel
Wichita
I'm-
Christian.
Wichita Christian, Coach Nolan. So we know at the 6-man level, as you said, you had 2 assistants last year, and you talked about how you had your first job. You thought you were going to be a coach, but you ended up being a coach of every sport. So tell us all the hats you wear at Bryson.
Well, I coach. I'm the head football coach and head track coach, boys track coach. I coach the girls in basketball, junior high girls in basketball.
So he switched over.
Yeah. Well, we had kind of a strange setup. You know, we didn't think that our rookie was quite ready to be a head high school boys basketball coach. So we actually took a coach that's on the girls' side. He's a retiree hire like I am, and he coached. So he's coaching the boys basketball this year. So with him switching over or crossing over to the boys during basketball, I just decided to cross over to the girls, and I thought that would try to help bring some unity to the whole program, because that's one of our goals is to not have a boys program and a girls program. You know, in a school that small, we need to all support each other, be together. And so by the coaches crossing over and working with the boys and the girls throughout the season, throughout all the seasons, we figured that would be a good thing for us.
Okay, Coach. So one of the questions I have for you, well, one thing, I'm sitting here looking at that swag behind you. Nice jerseys, nice helmets. And then all the 6-man schools that's came here have had nice gear.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all doing in these 6-man programs, man, to get such? And y'all, this is Nike. I think Newcastle had Nike.
Fundraisers.
Okay, fundraisers. Okay, so
Man, they only got to buy 6 jerseys.
yeah, that's
I heard
true.
he graduated 3 guys, man.
That's true.
So do you think, just a shout out to Bryson though, do you think that the communities, the type of communities that the 6-man programs are hardworking communities, and they naturally make the sacrifice to make sure that the kids have what they need?
Very supportive, and they want the best for the kids, just like we do. And so we're all on the same page there. You know, and Bryson community especially, they make sure that you know, if the school can't fund it, they're going to fund it. So we're going to get our stuff. We're going to get what we need. We don't always get what we want, but we always get what we need.
Okay, in the city of Bryson, yes, y'all, we said the city of Bryson. Just in case you guys didn't know it was a city.
Y'all need to come down.
Yes, sir. So, do you guys play on grass or turf field in Bryson?
We play on a grass field.
Okay, so who's responsible for cutting that grass?
Actually, our maintenance guy
What?
cuts our grass.
A
yeah.
maintenance guy?
But
Y'all both said, what? At the same time.
me and my 2 football coaches, we paint it every
Okay.
week. So, yeah, we got to do the painting.
Yeah, so I had another question. I'm stealing this from Jeff because he stole one of my questions.
It happens.
Do you guys, Coach Archer, you know, when he was on the show, he talked about them having a strength and condition coach. Do you guys, who does the strength and condition at Bryson?
Our sophomore coach does that.
That's a good one. The sophomore.
The
So-
sophomore.
Yeah, I really, you know, I brought the program in, but I let him, you know, put it together, you know, put the workouts together, and he's kind of in charge of that. So my other assistant coach, he does a great job of it too. So whenever, you know, one of those 2, you know, I've always been a big believer in the weight room. So, you know, we're trying to get the girls going in the same direction we are. But, you know, we brought them all in during the summer, all together, the boys and the girls. So they're all doing the same thing, and that's what we're trying to accomplish.
So very good. You talk about the summer, and that's kind of one of our questions too. Like, as you know, the big guy, the head guy, how has your summer participation been, and your summer workouts, and what's been successful for you guys through the summer? You think?
It's been up and down. You know, we've had some weeks where we didn't have a whole lot of kids, and we've had some weeks where we've had, you know, a pretty good bunch. It hasn't been as strong as I want it to be. We're still, I feel like with all the turnover over the last 4 years, we're still trying to win some hearts and win some souls, and try to get the kids to trust us. And I think this last year we have come a long way with that. Mm-hmm. But, just the trust of, I had a kid last year during the season come to me just out of the blue and said, "Are you going to be here next year?"
Oh man.
Yeah, and just the trust that we're going to be here. It's hard for them to buy into if we come and sell them something and then leave, and then the next guy comes in and tries to sell them something and then they leave. They just want to know that we're going to be here. So, I've like I said, my granddaughter, she's actually our daughter. She's an adopted granddaughter. We're raising her, and she'll be in the 8th grade. My plan, if Bryson doesn't run me out of town, is to be here till she graduates. So, I want to be here for the next 5 years. So,
if Rookie's there by that time, you can groom Rookie.
Yeah,
He'll
that's
be
right.
a veteran by then.
Yeah,
he could be the successor.
He could be varsity.
Yeah.
Refresh your ride during the Thrill of Summer sales event at Nissan of Wichita Falls. Come see our great lineup of new Nissans, including the all-new Nissan Rogue and the new 2024 Nissan Frontier. Nissan of Wichita Falls has a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles and a service staff of certified Nissan technicians, backed by the best parts department in Texoma. We're locally owned and operated with a sales team you can trust at Nissan of Wichita Falls.
I think just talking with you and the way you've been talking and preaching about him, I was thinking about that. I was like, maybe he's got plans to transition his successor. So
Yes, sir. So my last question, Coach, we've enjoyed you on here. Before I get into my last question, I do want to say that your experience is going to be what helps that community. I like to. I'm not a guy of many. Well, I'm a guy of many words, but I always like to instill wisdom. I'm not older than you, but I feel like what you're doing for that community is just hearing you say that young man said, "Are you going to still be here?" That in itself just shows that they care. They want something that's familiar and consistent. And as we know, especially in helping young men, consistency is key. So we appreciate you giving Bryson that consistency. As we get into my next question, I know in your 40 years you've probably seen a hater before in your life. You're sitting right across from one. His name is Jeff Holden. He loves to hate on my part of the show.
Yes.
It's a great part of the show.
it is. It's actually, I'll be honest, it's probably one of my favorite parts because the way that you've structured it into the 3 parts.
Yeah.
But I still got to push the button just because.
Triple or quadruple.
Man, he brought tears to my eyes, people. But the viewers love this part. The big old special. The big old special. This guy's a hater. So we're going to, Bryson, if you guys didn't know about it, we want to talk about something. For the first time, I've never been to Bryson. So, yes, I have not eaten anywhere there.
Surprising.
Yeah, but let the record show.
So,
Coach,
now.
what's your favorite place to eat at in Bryson?
Besides my house?
Yeah, besides your house.
There really aren't a lot of options there in Bryson. There was a restaurant that opened up downtown for just a little while, but there is one restaurant there that you have got to come to Bryson for, and that's Cotton's Restaurant.
Cotton's Restaurant.
Cotton's. Yes.
That sounds like a home cooked meal.
They've
Chicken-
got they
fried
specialize
steak.
they specialize in Mexican food, but they can cook you anything.
What's your okay, Coach? Now let's put your patent stamp on it. What do you eat at Cotton's? Because it's a must. Cotton's, we're giving you a shout out thanks to Coach.
Coach Ray's special.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the Ray's special.
Gosh, I've had burgers there. I've had probably the chicken enchiladas are really, really good.
Yeah, chicken enchilada.
Yeah, and they feed you well too. They'll give you a full plate.
Okay, you heard what he said. That ain't giving you a kid's meal. It's giving you a full plate.
Right.
So Bryson, so Coach, what's your favorite pregame meal?
I heard the other coach talking about that. I don't eat very much You know, I eat the night before, you know, just whatever I'm having for dinner that night.
Yes,
But,
sir.
you know, game day, I don't know. I just try to stay light on my stomach so I don't throw up all over the kids or whatever. But, you know, my coach in high school, one thing that he always said, and it's kind of got a dual meaning, he always said, stay hungry. Mm-hmm. But he literally meant to be a little bit hungry when you go into a game. Like, don't eat a big meal before a game because he wanted you to stay hungry.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
and having that hunger, having a little bit of hunger pangs and just being hungry for that win, that's you know, that's something that always stuck with me, and so that's kind of my habit too.
Well, Coach, I'm happy you said that. My son's gonna be mad, but he ain't eating nothing before no game. No way.
Staying home.
You're gonna be starved out there. So, Coach, what's your if in your 40 years, maybe not here at Bryson, but in your 40 years, what's something, because you've been in the role of head coach for a long time, what's been something that you've liked to feed the kids before games?
Again, you know, it's going to be something pretty light, sandwiches, Subway sandwiches, something like that, you know, that's not going to fill their belly, not going to make them ill, not going to give them heartburn. You know, I always tell them to eat pasta the day before, you know, 24 hours before competition. But, you know, just load up on water and Gatorade and get ready to play.
Okay. Coach, I haven't really said this much to many coaches, but I think you're our seasoned vet, 40 years of coaching. Shameless plug, but it's really very important plug for the wives in the game. And I want you to this is an opportunity for you to talk about, in the 40 years of you coaching, what has your wife meant to you as far as just being a supportive person in your coaching? And that's my last question I have for you, Coach.
She's been everything. You know, my wife is you know, she understood the assignment when we got married, and she understood it more when she found out in my first 5 years just how much I'm away from the house. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the sports, it's helping kids and you know, doing things with kids and you know, taking them places, taking them to college visits and doing all that kind of stuff, just hanging out with them. She's been so good at welcoming kids into our house. You know, we've had several, over the years, we've had several housefuls of kids just coming in, and she'd bake cookies for them. And, you know, just, she's just wonderful. She is the backbone, and you know, I think she knows a little bit too much about football because, you know, sometimes I'll get home and she'll say, well, I saw so-and-so do this and so-and-so's not blocking and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, she'll sit down and watch film with me. And she'll see some stuff that I don't see. So,
Yeah.
She's really incredible. And it's just the willingness to be a coach's wife, because you've got to be a different kind of person to be a coach's wife for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a testament to a lot of things, you know, but for wives are important, obviously, but they do give up a lot. But like you said, the backbone, that's usually how it goes. I mean, they hold everything together at home. They do, you know, this and that. But for her to be interested, you know, my wife just barely touches the surface of football. You know, she's a Cowboys fan, probably because I'm a Cowboys fan. But that's cool that your wife was, you know, watches film with you and does that kind of stuff. But you guys got anything else? Or
I'll just end with this last from Coach O. This twofold question. How has the continuity, as you said, you've only been there now a year or two? How's that? Have you seen growth within the football program or boys coming out in Bryson?
Yes and no. We still have probably 3 or 4 kids that we would like to have out playing that could really help us. But I think that they're still, they're sitting right there on the edge, just waiting to trust somebody.
Yeah.
And but overall for the kids that have been involved, and especially, when I came in there, I said, look, you always build from the ground up. So, we started with our junior high, and we got them to buy into, in a small school, you want to play everything. There's not too many 1A kids, 6-man kids that are going on to college and play. So, your high school window is that's going to be your opportunity, and not only in small school, but all the way up to 6A. You just don't have a large percentage of kids going on to play in college. So you've got a 4-year window that you can do everything that you could possibly do in high school. You're never going to be able to get that back. So, we've taught that to our junior high kids, and they're bought in. They play every sport, and that's what we want them to do. The high school, it's a little bit harder to sell to them because they've been sold some goods in the past and got let down. So, we're just hoping that we can kind of get those kids trickled in, at the higher level, and, make sure that our junior high, our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders really understand that philosophy of getting in there and playing everything and enjoying their time in junior high and high school.
So it's actually kind of crazy you said that. I had a conversation with an athlete just not too long ago. He's decided to not play a sport that he's really good at. And I try to explain to him, like, for me, I quit playing sports the end of my sophomore year. I fell in love with my high school sweetheart, who's now my wife. My biggest regret in life. My biggest regret. I mean, I followed her sports. My biggest regret in life is not finishing out high school sports. And to say to them, and any kid who has the opportunity to play any sport, like, they don't realize, and this is something I told the athlete I talked to, you only get one chance to put on that jersey and to represent your city, the place you grew up, or the place that you're currently attending. You only get one opportunity to help that team get better. And by helping that team get better, it sets up for the future. It's hard for them kids to realize that. They're just thinking, I don't want to go to practice. I don't want to go do 2-a-days. I don't, stuff like that. But if there's any kid out there that ever thinks that they, shouldn't play or whatever, like, I would say, go play, go represent your city, because when high school's over, you don't get to do it again, like you mentioned. And so I would just say that to all the kids. I mean, go play that sport. Go be a part of the team. Even if you don't play, you have 1 year to push yourself through practices and to just be a part of something. Sports is so much more than just competing on the football field or on a basketball court. And so, sorry, that's my little spill. Like, I think that that's my biggest regret in my entire life. And if I can prevent one kid from making that, I would like that to happen. I mean, because
that's one of my missions too, because I can't tell you how many kids I've had over the years that have come back to me and said, I wish I'd have played. I had a kid last spring. He didn't run track. He didn't play basketball. He just played football, and he was a senior. But right after track season, he was already regretting. He said, this is my senior year. I should have just played basketball and ran track. And I said, that's what I'm trying to prevent right there. I'm trying to prevent regrets. And if I can prevent regrets, and I've never heard a kid come to me and say, man, I'm glad I didn't play football this year.
Yeah.
Because they never say that, but they always regret. And I said, look, it's not going to ruin your life, but it's going to haunt you. You're going to look back on it and go, I was stupid, but kids don't understand it. They want what they want, and they don't get it until they're about 19 or 20 or 21 years old. And then they look back on it when that window is closed and it's gone, they're like, you know, I should have done it.
Yeah.
And this is my last question. You talked about it a little bit. Just expand a little more about what has the city of Bryson meant to you and your family.
Oh, it's been fantastic. I mean, just good, solid people there, good hard workers. The community, the school, the administration, they've been so good to me and my family. Of course, last year was the honeymoon year, so we'll see what
Everybody
happens
loved
this
you
year.
last year.
But I am very confident that it's a solid place and a nice place to raise your kids and be a part. The community is very strong.
All right, and actually, I'm going to ask one more question. I'm sorry that this is a little bit longer than most of our interviews, but it's just been such a great interview, and thanks again for coming in. But and Evan usually asks this question, but he said that was his last one. But
Yeah, I'll let you steal this one.
yeah, so I'll steal this one. What can we expect this year from Bryson football?
It's really hard to say. You know, we're gonna. One thing you can expect is that we are going to be fearless. We are going to go into games believing we're going to win every game. Record-wise, I don't know. You know, I think we can be as good as we were last year. It's going to depend on, you know, a couple of X factors. But one thing is that you're going to see kids that are excited to play. You're going to see kids that are working hard, that are expecting to be successful. And you know, I hate to put a record, you know, a predictive record on anybody. I just know that my email address is win 10 again.
There you go.
That's how it starts. Because if I can win 10 games in a season, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's been a great season. So that's what I'm always shooting for, is winning 10 games. And we'll see what happens. But I know my kids are going to go out there. They're going to be prepared. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to be excited, and they're going to play hard.
Awesome. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Do you guys have anything else? No, sir. Are you sure? And do you have anything else for us, Coach?
I just thank you guys for putting this on and you know, again, given the opportunity to expose Bryson and give them some exposure, give the kids some exposure, and hopefully we'll get some more of that.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
for sure. And like I said, again, thanks for making the trip. We're excited for Bryson football. We're excited for you this year in your second year. And yeah, thanks for coming out, and wish
Appreciate
you
it.
the best of luck this year,
All right.
Coach. Thank you.
you.
Thank you.